Hello.
Yeah, Yashwan, anything is there, or you want to start the session? Yeah. What question?
Good evening, students.
Good
Hope I'm
evening,
audible.
sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
How you spent your weekend? All right. I think what we discussed in the last class discussed about presentation.
Presentation skills, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And also we did an activities.
All right.
Spontaneous activity.
Spontaneity activity. Right. And there are a few topics left. We will discuss them as well. All right. So today I'm going to discuss the 7 C's of communication. After that, I'll be discussing about how to write a job letter, simply email etiquette rules. And I also discuss how to create a proper LinkedIn profile. And yeah, after that, if we have time, then we'll proceed with any activity. Right. So first, 7 C's of communication. Do you have any idea, like what those 7 C's that we need to follow during the communication? Yes. Can you guess those 7 C's that we need to follow during the communication? The communication may be anything like verbal or written or anything. Clarity, confidence. Next, completeness, courage, clear, coherence, correctness, concentration, confidence, concise, connectivity, complete, clear. Okay, fine. As I got the answer from your end, and whatever you mentioned is true. And we have to follow these 7 C's while communicating by keeping in mind. Let's just discuss one by one now. Just a second. All right. So here are the 7 C's of communication where we need to follow. That is completeness, correctness, consideration, courtesy, clarity, conciseness, and concreteness. Okay. Now let's discuss one by one. So the first thing is clarity. State of being clear or transparent. That means the clarity should be with our words as well as with our voice. As voice is a medium that happen between two people. So whatever the voice that you are using, and you need to pronounce each and every word clarifyly. As we already discussed about a situation, for and from, right? And how that ultimately affected the person's life, like a patient life. And there are many such homonyms, homophones are there, which are sounding alike and having different meanings, or sometimes the spelling is same but having different meanings according to the sentence that will change. So it is all about us speaking, and even while we write, we need to make sure everything should be proper. Like if we particularly talk about the homophones and homonyms, just a second. Like homophones are having same sound, but it is having different spellings. For example, if we take sun, sun and son, both are sounding alike, but having different meanings. In the same way, if we take homonyms, having the same spelling, but according to the context, the meaning of those like word will change. For example, if we take word called bank, so here both spellings are same, but when we talk about meaning, banks of river is totally different from money lending bank. In the same way, if we take word called board, examination board is totally different from writing board. So like you have to use appropriate words whenever you speak or else whenever you write. Okay. And clarity means getting your message across so the receiver will understand what you are trying to convey. So he should understand each and everything, as you need to follow a lot of things like a correct pace, which is your speed of the language, and the correct use of vocabulary. As the while framing the vocabulary, you need to use the right helping verbs, prepositions, conjunctions, and degrees of comparison. There's a lot of things in the English that I'm going to teach you in the verbal ability. It's going to be more clear, but here you need to make sure everything should be proper. Like if you are talking about present tense, every word should be proper. Like if you are talking about present, and if you're talking about future, word called will should be there. And if you talk about past, am I audible to you, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
You're
Okay.
audible. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Yes, thank you. So if you are like what I'm saying, like clarity means you have to use right helping verbs and pronouns. Like if we talk about past particularly, so past related words here are was, were, had. And what if I say sentence like I will completed my graduation in 2016. So this sentence itself wrong because I'm talking about 2016 and uh, here I have used the word like what is a helping verb I have used will. Will is used for future and I'm talking about 2016 which is past. So both are not matching properly. So this is how we are making a lot of mistakes out of which others will misunderstood what we are trying to convey. And you have to be very careful with past, present, and future because everything that we speak wholly depends on these tenses only. As I'm going to teach you those tenses in a very simple manner, as I'm not going to complicate anything that like our teachers did in our schooling time. Right. So hope you now understand the clarity. Ways to make your message clear. Choose a short, familiar, and conversational words. As others should also have some command on what vocabulary that you use. So according to the people, according to the place, you need to change your words. Like if you are talking with a professional person, then you can use a lot of formal words. But when you are talking with a normal person, if you use a lot of formal words, then he might can't understand that. So always try to choose the short in the sense, if you make thing like a complicated, like we do have one word substitutes. Like every word has its own definition. Times we use those definition and makes our message very complicated. Instead, we can use one word that can substitute the whole definition. So if you use such kind of substitutes, then you have this chance of making your message very concise and manner and very short and familiar, as others should be familiar on that and you should also have that familiarity, and conversational words should be used here. And maintaining a good voice, tone, pace, and modulation is very important. As I told you, what is the importance of this modulation? If you raise your voice a bit and then gradually it should come slow and then high and then low. So if you like modulate your voice in such way, you are making the listener very much attentive and he is also interested in listening what you are trying to convey. And use words according to the business or profession. As I already mentioned, every category has its own words here. For example, if we take word called investigation. Investigation is a word that we use in the police departments. But the same investigation, which is having the same meaning, we use questioning in the normal conversation, right? And interrogation, investigation, these things are related to something else. And in law, it is different. In other profession, it is different, but having the same meaning. According to the profession, the word will change. As you are going to work in professional environment, so you have to find the suitable words according to that, and you need to speak. That's why we do have this thing called corporate words, corporate vocabulary. So keep learning that kind of vocabulary, so you have this chance of using them in your interviews, as that looks so good. And next, and we normally you know this thing, right? Cell. Cell in English, cell means the mobile phone. In biology, cell means a micro cell, and in social studies, it is a jail. According to the situation, the meaning will change. According to the uh, like departments, the meaning or words will change. So you have to use the proper words here. And construct effective words and sentences, as this construction is very important. Normally, while constructing the sentences, we do have things like subject, helping verb, verb form, and object. So we have to make sure our construction should be in a order, in a proper order, and that will be more clear to you once we done with the vocab verbal ability. Okay, and include illustrations and other visual aids like a written thing, or you can make the listeners illustrate something like a visualizing something, and that is how you need to speak. And maintaining a good body language makes others understand very clearly. So these are the things that you can follow to make your message very clear. And next, completeness. Every information must be complete. It leave no question to ask. Most of the times we do this mistake. Like we have something in our mind and we say the half of the sentence in our mind itself, and out of our mouth only few words will be revealed. We know the message, but others should also understand that complete message. So that's why you have to make sure, and this completeness is only achieved if you prepare a proper word sentences linking each other. Then only you have the scope of giving a complete message, as that should not leave no question to ask, like they should not re-question on that. And receiver should be provided with all required facts, particularly if we talk about interview, as whatever he is expecting from that question, you need to mention everything without leaving any mark on that. Or incomplete information creates a misunderstanding, of course. And few times we face this problem. Even though we have a lot of things to speak, but we face this problem of like creating the sentence, a proper sentence, out of which we'll be thinking like, okay, we'll leave this message. But never do that. Just try it until you achieve that. So if you keep trying this thing again and again, you can automatically overcome that problem. So what you need to include to make a complete message, you need to include when, which, what, where, who, why, how, and everything. So if you have all these things in your mind, then automatically you can able to give the complete information, because complete information is all about all these things, like when it happened, like about time. If you talk about which, like things, what means the reason, where means place, who means person, why means again the reason, how means again it is also something related to reason. So it will change according to time, place, person. So you have to give the complete information by considering all these facts, so that it will be good. Next, conciseness. As this conciseness is very important, as we complicated a lot of message by uh, using a lot of vocabulary, lot of sentences. What if someone is speaking with you by taking a long time using very complicated sentences? We automatically not get any interest in listening to them, as the sentences are very much complicated and more. Even it is complicated, we can able to understand that. But if the sentences are more, our mind can't concentrate on that for a long time. So even if you make any sentences very much complicated, then the interviewer will lose the interest. And this is also a very common fact that normally, if they take interviews, like 50 members. For the first 10 members, their mind is very much attentive. They can able to listen. But later on, their attention on each and every word will decrease. But at least they listen or they hear you. They might not listen to you, but they will hear you and they will also observe you. So instead of making such situations, you can concise every message so that every message will be look so short and others will easily retain that. So a concise message is completing without being wordy. Means instead of using lot of words, you should complete the message within a short words. Just like I have told you, the one word substitutes that really works well here. And it means saying what you want to say in a fewest possible words without sacrificing others. Conciseness in the sense, like it doesn't mean we should compromise few words, like few contents. It's not words, but it's a content. You should not compromise the content, but you should compromise with the words. And it saves the time for both the sender and receiver. Particularly if we talk about emails, like we write a lot of emails. For example, you received one email, which is like 5 to 6 paragraphs in that. Will you read each and every paragraph? Means we are not much interested in reading all those things. Best example is newspaper. Like newspaper has this headlines, and based on that there is a content like 4 to 5 paragraph. But we never show any interested in reading all those paragraph. Instead, we will read that concise headline. Even the headline, that is the exact reason why, if you observe the newspaper, the headlines are very creative, as that covers everything. That's why these reporters use the creative headlines here, so that by reading the headlines itself, we understand the whole situation. And that is how even whatever you speak should look like, as that saves the time for you as well as the receiver. And it underlines the main point. Normally, we do have this habit of underlining in our childhood, like in the whole summaries or whole textbook, we underline whatever we feel important, right? And this underlined part is exactly nothing but the conciseness. So you should only speak that underlined part, underlined in the sense important things. And it provides short and essential message to the audience, and particularly the presentation that we spoke in the previous class. So if you need to keep everything short, others will find that interesting, and it is more appealing to the audience too. And it is not should never repeat it again and again unless it is mostly important part. And tips. Here you can see few things. At this time, this is a combination of 3 words. Instead, you can use one word, that is no. And instead of using due to the fact, you can use one word, that is because. So every sentences like phrases having its own one word forms. Phrase is nothing but more than one word. Like it is a combination of 2 to 3 words giving a separate meaning. We use this kind of phrases a lot, making our message very much complicated. Instead, you can use this kind of one word substitutes. And stick to the purpose and delete irrelevant words and confusing sentences. And avoid unnecessary repetition, as I already mentioned, and try to use more pronouns. As what is the purpose of this pronouns? Like you might know this what pronoun means, right? Like anything instead we use instead of noun is nothing but a pronoun. Like assume a person name is very big, like it is a combination of 5 to 6 words. So instead of saying that name again and again, we use a simple pronoun like that is he or she. So try to use a lot of pronouns so that that will be not much complicated and easy to understand. And limit passive voice, as you should not use passive voice because passive voice adds a lot of words. Simply you can use the active voice, which is nothing but as normal sentences itself. And you will be getting information on this active and passive in the verbal ability classes. And unnecessary prepositional phrases. Prepositional phrases in the sense we do have these phrases like, for example, like I'm not going to take a complicated one. but I'll tell you what is this phrase mean, prepositional phrase mean. Break up. So here break is different, up is different. If we see it as a separate, those meanings are different. But if we put this together, that will give a new meaning to us, right? So as you can see, only two words here, but we do have a combination of like 3 to 4 words or even. Just like here you can see at this time. In the same way, we do have this kind of prepositional phrases. So never use such kind of phrases and never complicate the things. And explanations also. As you can explain, but in a very concise way. And next to see here is correctness. Everything that you speak, like you should have a strong command on that, and you should not generalize anything, particularly during the group discussions or any question that you don't know. We say it very confidently, even though we don't have a correct information with us. But that makes the things complicated. So accuracy of the information, language, being specific, defining, grammar used in the message, all these things together call this correctness. Like correctness should be with the information and with the language too. As we are using a language English, so we apply a lot of words related to Telugu. So you should not use that. And yes, definite and grammar. Grammar is the most important part while communicating. And tips include the proper grammar like punctuation. As I already mentioned in the communication class itself, as we never apply this commas and full stop while we are speaking. We continuously speak, but we should give some time like a 1 second in between so that others can easily grasp what we are trying to convey. But once we start, we never stop in between. So you should stop at least like a half second or 1 second in between so that you are letting them to grasp that information. And spelling, particularly during the written communication, which is email. So you have to check the spellings properly and the accent. Accent is also very important. As in our Telugu state itself, we do have different accents. Like in Telangana, it is different. Costa, Rayalaseema. So different regions have different accents. But the language is same Telugu. Then, like for Telugu is just one among all these languages. Then just think about how many languages are there, how many accents are there. But what mistake we are doing here is applying the same slang or accent to the English as well. We normally say, I said you now. But where do you find this word called now? Right? But that's a common saying that we use. But you must not use such kind of things in the professional places. And message must be present grammatically and mechanically too. And use right level of language, formal and informal, based on the situations, persons, and the places. And include only accurate figures, facts, and words. Like unless you know it properly, you should never speak on that. And the message should exact, correct, and well timed. And proper use of confused words that I have already mentioned: accept, accept, expect. So they are sounding alike, but each word having different meanings to that. I'll show you in the verbal ability. So everything has its own meaning. So you have to use the right vocabulary here. Next, concreteness. Normally, concrete means we use this word for cement. What's the specialty of this concrete? It makes the foundation stronger, everything strong, right? In the same way, the concreteness should be with our words too. So whatever we say, that should be very strong. This is the actual meaning for this concreteness. Like here you can see, message should be specific instead of general. As you should never sound very general, it should be specific so that others will easily understand what you are trying to convey, and that also looks so logical that others will like accept your point of view, particularly during the group discussions. And keeping the message free of mistakes and inaccuracy is also what you need to follow. And few things like concrete communication implies being particular and clear rather than fuzzy and general. And concreteness strengthens the confidence. As we look so confident and we feel so confident if we make everything concise as well as strong points. Like we normally know, right? I'm using the strong point here. So automatically we boost our confidence too if we are using the strong points here. And it is supported with the specific facts and figures here. And it makes use of vivid that is clear and build the repetition. So these are the tips that you can follow in the concreteness. And courtesy. Courtesy is nothing but being respectful to each other. So this respectful is not only shown with the behavior, but we have to use the polite words here. So these polite words will automatically makes every situation a very respectful situation. The practice of being respectful, considerate and mindful. Like consideration means you have to think from their point of view, like having this empathy that I have already spoke to you. So think from their situation, being in their shoes, and you need to think how they are feeling, what they exactly want. So by based on that, you need to use the polite words that should respect others. Courtesy in message implies the message should show the sender expression as well as should respect the receiver. As while we speak, it is automatically known to the person whether we are speaking respectfully or not. But when it's come to emails or else any written messages that we send, we take the help of emojis. But what like a total perspective will change. If we send one normal message, others will find that message based on their mood. Even though we send that message in a happy mood, others will find out that in a sad situation. That's why we take the help of these emojis and letting others know what and how we are expressing that. But in the emails, we never use such kind of emojis as that looks so unprofessional. Then how we can express our emotions to them by using this kind of courteous words itself. For example, normally while writing a letter, we normally write right like yours faithfully, obediently, and respected. This kind of words will find these messages very courteous. So you have to use those kind of words, particularly during the written communication. In like the sender of the message should be sincerely polite, judicious in the sense like you have to show the equalness, and reflective and enthusiastic too. While reading your message itself, others should find out your tone, that you are sharing everything enthusiastically. And it makes use of terms showing respect for the receiver of the message, as that is respect related. And at last, consideration. You need to consider what others want. Like the ability to think about and empathize with the needs, feelings, and perspectives of while others while communicating. Simply, you need to understand their point of view. Like if we take normal interview, like HR interview, understand what they exactly want. Or in the presentation also, what exactly the audience want is what you need to consider, and based on their requirements you need to write the message or say the message. Consideration implies stepping into the shoes of others, and effective communication must take audience into consideration, like the audience viewpoints, background, their mindset, their education level. Based on these things you need to consider it, what they exactly want, and based on that you need to speak that, and ensure that self-respect of audience is maintained and their emotions are not at harm, particularly during the GD group discussions. Okay, next, modify your words in messages to suit the audience needs while making your message complete. And show empathy with the audience and exhibit interest in the audience is also very important. As this is all about the 7 C's of communication. All these things looks very cliche that we are normally know, but the reason why I still mentioned all these things is for a reason. While communicating, you need to remember all these things so that you have the scope of communicating very well. And that's the reason I've told you. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. Next topic, an important topic, which is a job application letter. As it also gives us scope to learn how to write a proper email even. As I'm going to show you like a skeleton of email and where we need to mention what and everything. Particularly, I'm discussing about job application letter here. And normally when we write this job application letter, after we find out any information like contact information, but one HR or one recruiter. So we write our job application letter by saying that I am the right candidate, looking forward for the interview. And we attach some files like CV or our educational documents, certifications and everything. And we send it to the recruiter. But we do have this chance of applying through online within just one click, right? Like if we open Indeed app or Naukri app, where you can find a lot of apps over there. Sorry, jobs over there. And if you open one job, there you can find some company details, and later we will find the roles and responsibilities, and then salary part, uh, documents required. At last, the contact information about that HR. Simply, sometimes you will find the contact information like WhatsApp number or simply email. Email is mandatory, like they normally keep that email. However, and at last you will find the option called apply button. And by clicking on that apply button, like we can simply apply that. There's nothing complicated here. By reading all those things, we simply click on that apply and it is applied. And if they see like your application, then they will give you a call. They will give you a call and the interview procedure happens. But the problem here with these apps is as that is very easy to apply on that button. So everyone keeps on pressing on that without even reading everything like qualification. Like the qualification they asked is masters, but here the people who are applying here is a graduation. But they don't have that much time to clear out all these things, right? So that is the exact reason why we rarely get the responses from them if we apply through this Naukari and Indeed. That's the exact reason why you need to write this job application letter. As they receive these job application letters very less, so you have this high scope of getting recognized and every process goes finely. And this is the reason behind that. Still, even though we have this chance of applying within one click, we still need to write this job application letter that shows a very professionalism. Just a second. Yes, I already told you the reason why we need to write this. And we already discussed about the 7 C's as well. You are writing the application letter, the same things you need to follow, like clarity, conciseness, like clarity, in the sense ideas are clear and logical. Everything that you put should have a proper starting, middle, and the conclusion. And conciseness is all about coming direct to the point. As if you send a lot of paragraph mentioning everything, they don't have that much time to read through all those things. And consideration like your perspective and what exactly you are and what exactly they want. And courtesy like using a lot of respectful words, and concreteness using vivid words like which makes the message very strong. And cheerfulness is something that got added here, that is optimistic in tone. That means while reading the message itself, they should understand how much enthusiastic, cheerful you are. And correctness, like free from any mistakes, particularly grammatical mistakes or vocabulary spelling mistakes. And character, like politeness, is also very important to mention. Use a professional email ID, email address here. Here, the reason why I'm telling you professional in the sense that I already mentioned in the resume itself, you need to keep your usernames very professional with a full name. No nicknames should be there here. And write a correct and informative subject line. Normally, This is same like the letter that we studied in our school time. In our 10th standard in English subject, we do have this formal letter and informal letter, which is of 10 marks, I think. So what's the difference between this formal letter and informal letter? Like in informal letter that we write for our friends and family, everything is in zigzag, as the place date is at one side, like a left side, and other things at right side, and then closing line at right side, left side. So this is how the zigzag information there. But when it's come to the formal letter that we write for officials, everything is at left side only. That we from to subject line, address, and everything we mention at the left side only. And the same rule is applied here in the email also, as everything should be at the left side. And if you go to the email, there you can find the compose option, however. And if you click on that compose option, where you will find things like subject line at first, and then carbon copy, which is CC, BCC, and this kind of options were there, where you should mention to whom you are sending. And after that, you will have this compose section, where you need to write the actual message by greetings, and then starting matter, middle matter, and then conclusion, and at last closing salutation by saying yours obediently, yours faithfully, etc., etc. So this is how the structure look like in the email. And use the corrective and informative subject line. What's the purpose of this subject line normally? This subject line is nothing but regarding what, like what exactly the whole email is about, gives in a very simple line, that is in the subject line. That is the purpose. Simply, you are making their work easy. Like they receive a lot of emails every day, and no one has that much time to go through all the information that you have given. Simply, they will read this subject line, based on which they will categorize the email. If the subject line is saying that is related to the job application letter, then they will categorize according to their needs. As this subject line will save a time of that receiver. And be sure you have used the correct recipient names. What if someone is misspelling your name? That may be in the written thing or speech. Like, will you feel good means no, right? In the same way, so recipient name should be proper here, as you should never do any mistake with the recipient name. And even this is also correct, that if we give a wronger user ID, that won't normally take that, right? And name, title, email address, everything should be proper. And craft an effective closing and signature, as this is very important, because we being a humans concentrate on first and last things most, leaving this middle thing not much concentrated on that. And name and format your attachments correctly. Like at last, we will definitely going to attach some files, as you need to mention in the email message itself what you are trying to send, as well as the attachments also you need to rename everything properly. What if anything goes wrong? They won't have the time to find out research and all. So they will simply ignore your message, and out of which we won't get any responses. And that's the exact reason why make sure everything should be proper while composing the mail itself. And more tips and tricks here. Highlight your skills and achievements, particularly during the job application letter, as this will make them understand what potential you have. And keep it professional and concise, as you are writing for a professional person. So try to use every word that is a formal word, as well as concise information is also very important. Place importance on your signature, and don't just copy and paste, as you should never do this. And always follow up, but not too much. If you're not getting response from them, just follow up once or twice. If you're still not getting response, then just leave that. But following up too much will also make this situation not good. And email structure, as I already mentioned, first thing here you can see subject line, and then after greeting and body, and closing signature at last, as interview confirmation mail. This is a short email that will give you an idea. As here you can see in the subject interview confirmation and your name, so that the receiver will understand what exactly is this email about. And here you can see, dear HR team is a greetings, and this is a subject line, and this is a body. Thank you for the interview invitation. I'm writing to confirm my availability for the interview scheduled on particular date at particular time. Looking forward to the interaction. So this is a short message. And after that, closing by using regards or yours faithfully, yours obediently. And at last, your signature, which is nothing but your name. Okay, this is how the structure look in the email. As we particularly concentrating upon the job application, so subject line should be like it should include the word application and your name and the job title and the reference number for the job listing if applicable. Like if you are referred by someone, then you can also mention that reference details too. And this should be included in the subject line. And coming to salutation, if you know the name, then you can use the name. Or if you don't know the name or gender or anything, simply you can use the dear hiring manager, as you can use this salutation. Or else if you know the name, then you can use Mr. or Mrs. with the last name, and dear first name or last name if you know the hiring manager's name but don't know the gender. Or simply instead of complicating by all these things, simply you can use dear hiring manager. And after the salutation in the paragraph 1, you need to introduce yourself, who you are, and the name the position you are applying for, and mention where you saw the job listing, as they are going to post the jobs in different apps. Like they might post in Indeed or Naukri or LinkedIn, anywhere. So you need to mention where you saw the job listing. Or if you are referred by someone, then you can also mention that who referred you and what's the details about that. And at last, you need to also give information like why you are interested in the position. And in the paragraph 2, talk briefly about why you are qualified to fill the job vacancy, as this paragraph 2 is very important because this will give every core information about us. So things like why you are qualified, like that include your education, your job experience, or if you don't have job experience, then you can mention skills. And the word here is briefly, don't repeat everything in your CV. However, in CV, we include everything. Like if we talk about chronology here, not chronology, the message content, email should be at bottom, and this CV is at middle, and interview is at top. Like I already told you, in the CV, you need to add very concise information like a keyword stuff, so that in the interview, you have the scope of explaining more. But if we compare CV and email, even email should contain very less information compared to the CV. Why? We are, however, attaching the CV to our email, right? So they will open that CV and they will read. Then what is the need of explaining more, just like CV in the message itself, as that looks so complicated and they were not at all interested in reading. So simply you can mention education, your job, experience, skills. Those are more than enough. And once they open your CV, they will find every information about you. And just the 2 or 3 most important points are more than enough here. And in the paragraph 3, as this is optional, if you want to really add that, you can also add here. In the paragraph 3, you can highlight any aspect of company's products or values or culture. However, I told you, you should research the company based on which you will find the information like their products, values, culture, right? So you can align the same information with your uh, skills or with your experience, so that you make you good fit to work there. And now coming to the paragraph 4, so you can mention what attachments you are sending to them, as like CV or any documents that they particularly ask you to send, and offer to provide the further information. Like you need to use these kind of lines. And closing line at last, express the appreciation as they have already studied everything until now, right? So they come to this line. So you need to show the appreciation by saying, like I'll show you what kind of lines you can use. Recipient for considering your application. And at last, polite closing salutation by saying sincerely our best regards and your signature and contact information at the end. As here, contact information should be things like your WhatsApp number, as however you are writing in the email itself. If they really want to send anything, they will reply back. And this is one example. You can see subject, application for position or reference number if you have any, your name. These three things should be there. And dear hiring manager is the subject. As I have missed the introduction, because introductions are different for different people. So I don't want to repeat that. So I directly went to this second one. I'm writing to apply for the position. For which position you are applying? Role at which company? That was advertised on a job board where you have on the job listing. And I was impressed with the company name. Reputation as a leading player in the industry, which field or industry, IT industry. And I believe my skills and experience would be a strong asset to your team, is what the first paragraph should look like. Adding to this, you can add your introduction before this. And now coming to the second paragraph, in my current role, the current position, the current company, if you're working, or else if you're a fresher, then you can use the different lines. Or if you have already worked previously, then you can use in my previous role, in the previous company. So according to your situation, you can change it. I have gained a valuable experience in skill or experience, which I believe would be a valuable contribution to your team. Additionally, my skills or experience has enabled me to achieve these results. As this bracket shows, whatever that feels that really fits for you, you can include in those brackets. And next, please find attached CV for your review. I would be happy to provide additional information or references upon request. And thank you for your consideration. And I look forward to the opportunity to discuss my application further. That means you're asking to call for the interview. And sincerely, at last, your name and your contact information. So this is how you need to write the application letter. So take this as a reference, and the emails that we compose is for different situation, but the format is same, where you need to use this kind of lines and words. And few times we'll get a auto messages, and you can also take that kind of auto messages. And once you compose the information email, you will be having, if you have any errors in that, that will automatically highlight that. So try to also change them, and you can send that email, so that if as they are going to receive very less job application letters, so they have the scope of uh, getting identified, as well as they will give you a call. Particularly in the LinkedIn profile, if you find any hiring managers profiles, if you find any emails in their profile, then you can directly write to them, so that you'll be heard back. Okay. If you have any doubts regarding this application letter, then you can please ask. There is no class on Saturday and Sunday. Okay. I waited for long. Like you can take the pictures while I'm explaining, right? As not every information is important here. I mean, The information is important, but not every slide is important, right? So you can just take the pictures, whichever the slide you feel that is important to you. Just like the information that I am currently showing you on the screen, you can take this one, as remaining information is not much necessary. However, you listen what I've spoke. I mean, it's not mandatory, Pavi. Like it is not mandatory to share email to the manager after the interview. But if you share, that will look good. Okay. Like I'll be giving 10 minutes break to you, as the next thing that I'm going to teach you here is the LinkedIn profile creation. So be ready with your LinkedIn. I hope being a student, everyone has the LinkedIn profile with you already. If you have no issues, then I'm going to show you few things, what things you need to change in the LinkedIn. According to that, you can change few things. And if you don't have any LinkedIn profile, just download that and open and create your profile until I'm going to start again. Like now the time is 6:02. So you have to be here exactly at 6:12. Okay, 6:12. 10 minutes break to you. After that, we'll do this LinkedIn profile exercise. Lahari, understood? Amar? Okay, I'll talk about this and I'll let you know. Okay, you have to be here at 6:12 and be ready with your LinkedIn profiles. All right. Hope everyone is back. Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay. Normally, everyone do have your LinkedIn profiles, right? Just open your LinkedIn profile once, and once you're done, please let me know. Okay, fine. So first, here you can see your marks show what you studied. LinkedIn shows what you can do. As marks is something that everyone do have. Everyone, everyone can able to complete their studies, as that is very common in every student. But these interviews, the jobs, and the like a few members got placement and few members didn't. Is completely depends on the skills. Everything depends like skills, experience, and everything comes here. As this LinkedIn profile will shows what you can do. It's not just about marks, as this shows what you can do. And this is a very professional platform that we can use to connect, to build a proper network, and to make others understand what we are capable of and what we actually are. And you do also have the scope of finding new jobs, new persons, and everything. As what exactly is the difference between the social media and LinkedIn? As both things are having the same formats. Like if we take Instagram, it's LinkedIn is also same like that. As we can see the post as someone posted, and we can see like the same bio and our profile. Everything is same, but the different here is like with a one example, like we take the donate. So in Facebook, we post like I like donuts, and you post one thing. And in Twitter, you use like in Snapchat, you use watch me eat a donut. In Instagram, here's a cool photo of my donut. Here's a donut recipe. I'm listening to donuts. Anyone wants a donut? As this looks so like it's kind of entertainment. But when it's come to LinkedIn, the same with the same donut, what we post here is I hope to operate a donut franchise one day, as this is about a dream, business dream. I'm looking for a job at a donut company. I have a 3 years experience in making donuts, and my top skills are donut production and sales. And here are the three recommendations from the former donut colleagues. So this kind of information we find on LinkedIn, as this works as a best example to understand the difference between normal social media and LinkedIn. As LinkedIn is all about professional things and professional developmental part. Now let's see few other things like it's a professional networking platform where students, professional recruiters, all kind of persons are there. But for what? For the jobs, for the internships, for career guidance, and for professional learning. And unlike social media, LinkedIn reflects your career identity. And why it is important for the students, particularly, as we have the online resume. Even in the resume, we add this section where in the contact information itself, we add our LinkedIn profile link. So after they see your resume, they directly click on that link and they will go through your LinkedIn profile once. As they find your LinkedIn profile is good, then you have a high chances of getting shortlisted for the interview. And LinkedIn speaks to students directly, as even before you speak to them, as your LinkedIn profile will speak to them. By that, it's not always we need to go and find the job. Sometimes we can create our profile very well, and the profile which is is full of lot of achievements and certifications and everything, automatically someone will definitely going to give the opportunity as even before you try that. And that's the greatness of this LinkedIn. And normally, rare by going all by ourselves and finding jobs and getting selected by the company, as this is very rare. Most of the company filling these vacancies with the uh, referrals only, as we can build a proper network with different people who are already working in the company or professional persons like HRs. We can directly build a network and we can contact them, so that we the process of this job interviews and everything goes really well and very fast. So this is a traditional method where we completely relying on the job apps and waiting for their response. So it's a time waste for you and them as well. So that's why this LinkedIn will work as a great platform to connect, to get hired. Okay. And builds professional network early, shows skills beyond the academic marks, and useful for internships, projects, and placement as you are fresher. So it will be more useful where you can find different internships like online. And you can simply follow the persons who are providing these internships and you can message them directly, so that if they find your profile as well as your details good, then you might get this internship opportunities. Normally, people usually ask, like, where do we find these internships? Where do we find these jobs and everything? This LinkedIn is the best profile for that. And basic sections of this LinkedIn profile. Once you go through your profile section where you can find this information like profile photo at first, and headline, and then summary, and then education, skills, experience, internship, projects, certifications, post, activity connections. All these things are there one by one. Okay, we'll do one by one now. Already, if your profile is got created, then no issues. You can make a minor changes in that if you feel anything that you need to change. If your profile is already good, then no issues. Now let's move one by one. So the profile photo, and I'm sure that almost every person here has a blank profiles in the LinkedIn, but you should never keep this photo section blank. Your profile photo is a first impression. So once they visit your profile, the first thing that they observe here is your photo only, right? So you need to add that. So never keep any profile blank here. Then few things we need to follow while adding this profile photo. Just a second. Yes, you can. I'll come to that part. So here's few guidelines like clear head and shoulders photo, as you should never post any selfies or group photos or your full photo. All these things are not at all entertaining here. Simply you should look professional. That's why it should look like a pass photo that we normally give everywhere, like certifications, right? So you can apply the same photo here. And plain or professional background, a simple background without any background like a trees or something else. So a plain background should be there, just like the plain background I am using in my background now, or else any white background, anything is fine, but it should not contain anything. Okay. And formal or semi-formal attire, whatever the dress you wear is also very important in that photo, as you should never wear something like t-shirt and you post it, as this is a professional platform. You need to post everything professionally, where you can use blazer or simple shirt, plain shirt, the same thing that I've told you in the grooming part. So you can apply all those things here and post your photo. And natural expression, now we have a boon called chat gpt Gemini AI, right? You can just give your photo and ask that to turn your photo into a proper formal one. I mean, that should look like you, as most of the photos are not looking like us. So you can just ask it to change the dress at least. If you don't have any photo with the proper formal attire, then you can just ask that will give you, and you can post the same. And natural expression, as in the normal photos we smile a lot, we keep very weird expressions, and we use dog filters in Snapchat, something like that. But here you should keep a natural expression that should not be that extreme expressions. And good lighting should be also there. And avoid group photos or casual selfies or filters or blurred images. You should completely avoid all these things and simply put one pause photo which is following all these guidelines. As it takes some time, you can do it later, or if you have one, then do it. But never keep your profile blank. As I'm not saying this is mandatory to put, but it looks good, as this class is all about making our profile a great profile. So this things comes under that. So you should add one photo here. And next, you will find the headline section. There you have added anything or not is what you need to check. If not, then you can add it now, as this headline appears below your name and the is most visible part in the profile, as the next concentration goes on this headline itself, just like career objective or summary in the resume. So this works same like that. So this headline, the purpose of this headline here is to tells who you are, just like a trailer to a movie, and shows your career interest and highlights your skills. The headline formula here you can use is your current status, your aspirations in future, and the key skills that you are currently have right now. And just check your headline whether these three things covered or not. Your current status, your career goal, and key skills got covered it or not. If not, you need to follow the same formula in the headline and change it. No God photos. It's your photo. God photos and everything is related to our social media. Okay. It like in WhatsApp, in Instagram, you can add it. But this is a online resume. This is just like a living resume. Okay. So you should add your photo. If you add the God photo, that is related to God information, right? Where can I find past recording class? You can find it in this app, or else you will find it in YouTube classes. Go to the live classes section, and there you will. Yes, LMS account. In LMS itself, you will have these recorded sessions. And here, example, you can see final year BCom student is the current status of that student. Aspiring accountant is the career goal that he has, and tallying Excel is the skills that he currently has. Or else, graduate, data analyst, learner, Excel, SQL. Or else, BTech student right now, future software developer, Java, etc. So you need to change your headline in the same way. Okay. Hope you are done. Okay. Now let's move to the next section. Just make sure this should be at the same headline formula that I'm showing you. Current status, career goal, and the key skills. Once you are done this, next one is about section. A summary section you can find. So the about section is your professional self-introduction. Like it's just like the introduction that we give. It's the same thing. It's even more more information than the previous one. The about section is your professional self-introduction. You need to include who you are exactly and what you are studying or learning and your key skills and your career goals. So these are the things. Make sure you should add these things in your about section. And while writing, you need to write as a first person. Your first person in the sense the pronouns that you should use is am, as it should look like something that you speak only. Okay. And professional language, of course, Everything that you include here should contain the professional information and positive tone, and 3 to 5 short lines, not paragraphs, lines. 3 to 5 short lines here. As you can see, one example. I am a motivated undergraduate student with a strong interest in learning and professional development. I am currently building skills in communication, teamwork, and problem solving. As I mentioned, only soft skills because the technical skills are different for different people. So you can add what technical skills you have at this section before this soft skills part. And soft skills are common for everyone. So whichever you feel that is related to you, you can add it. As you can find, this communication, teamwork, problem solving is very common for everyone. You can add the exact soft skills. I am eager to gain practical exposure to internships. That means you are letting others understand, like those who visits your profile, you are letting others understand that what you are looking for. You are looking for internship, so that if they have any opportunity, then they will message you and they will contact you. And through internships or entry level opportunities where I can apply my knowledge and grow professionally. As these kind of lines you need to use in the about section. What if we have added anything previously, then you can just go through that once again and just go through this soft skills and technical skills got covered and this last line got covered well or not, based on which you can change it. Like about certificates, attendance, everything, you will get at last. Okay, just concentrate on this thing right now. Okay, any doubts related to LMS and everything, you can ask at last. That's why I am ending class 5 minutes before to clarify all these things. Okay, education section. As this section highlights your academic background. So simply the same way we are going to add this education section in the resume, the same thing you need to add here, like degree name, specialization, college, university, study period, academic achievements are optional. If you have any achievements in the academics, then you can add it here itself, or else you can add it somewhere else, as I'm going to show you that as well. So simply BSc Computer Science, XYZ degree college, duration. So this is the education section. Hope you are done with this part as well. And next, skill section. As this is the most concentrated section if you are a fresher looking for an internship. So skills help recruiters understand what you can do. As you can add technical like skills like technical skills and soft skills too. So you need to give importance to both. And guidelines like add relevant skills only, whichever you feel that is related to you. And avoid exaggeration by adding a lot of skills here. I mean, if you are really perfect in all those things, then fine. But never exaggerate yourself much, as that should be somewhat relatable and they should also understand this is true. And add 8 to 15. So if you add 8 to 15, that looks so decent. And if you have any more things than that, then you can also add that. But sometimes you being a fresher, that looks so exaggerated. So 8 to 15 is fine. And skills should match your career goal, as this is very important. And if you add any skill, be ready to explain it in your resume, no matter whether that is CV or LinkedIn. Okay. This is all about the skill section, as you need to learn a lot of skills and add it here in the skill section, as that will work well. And experience section, if you have any experience like internships or academic projects or online course projects or volunteering work or any part-time work, anything is fine. Everything comes under the experience only, as that doesn't mean only full-time jobs. But at least anything should be there in this experience section. As I already mentioned in the previous classes itself, if at least anything that you need to gain, as you are already in your graduation, 3rd year and final years. So based on the skill, upgrade your skills and try to complete online internships, any part-time work, and then try to include them in your LinkedIn profile. As you can see, one example, student project, inventory management system, role, data analysis and reporting, tools, MS Excel. As if someone find this kind of things, they will understand you do have this hands-on experience, so that giving opportunity is a better thing. Okay. Next. Project section. As these projects are very important, as you being a fresher, so you should have this project section more, as this project shows practical application of knowledge, and skills shows only knowledge, as this project shows practical application of that knowledge. So you can add college projects or any mini projects that you did in your graduation, or group assignments that you did. So here you should include things like the project titles and the tools you have used in them, and your role in that and outcome. What is the result at last? So this project section should be more. So try to do as many projects as you can, and not just projects, even the certification courses also. As these certificates, as I already mentioned many times until now, certificates will work like a property papers. It's not the property that we acquire normally, so society. It's for our job, it's for our growth. So certification increases the profile credibility here. That's the purpose. So you can gain certificates like communication skills training, as you mentioned, right? So do we get any certificate here? Or yes, you do. As this certificate you can add once you're done with this course, or Python programming, or if you have done any course at Udemy or this type, or any in any particular company, or if you have attended any webinar seminar. So from all these things, you will get the certificate. And if you still can't able to figure out where we can find this kind of hackathons, seminars, webinars, means this LinkedIn is the best profile. As few people post like about this programmings and certification courses, or certification one-day webinar, one-day seminars. So you will get that information, and if you participate by registering the link that they are going to provide, then you will get some certificates from them, as this will works great in the profile. And next. Next, LinkedIn post and activity. As up to now, we are done with the sections in the profile. And a lot of people create their profile, but they never post or never be active in the LinkedIn. As we never open the LinkedIn also few times, like we do Instagrams or YouTubes. And posting shows that the student is active and learning. As if you keep posting, what will happen? Your profile will reach a lot of members. Otherwise, it can't recognize it. It goes unrecognized. So you should post anything. Then what kind of things you need to post? As you all you already set one goal in particular domain, right? So you need to get updates on that, and you need to share it with everyone that what new updates came in that. Like course completions also something that you can post, or internship experience is what you can post, learning reflections from anything that you have learned, and career goals, or else simply if there is any update in this AI, or this the domain that you are looking for, so you can simply update them as well. For example, glad to begin my, if you haven't posted anything yet, then you can post anything like glad to begin my professional journey on LinkedIn, looking forward to learning, networking and improving my skills. And you can post anything, like if you have done with any certification, then you can post that certification as well. It's same like the Instagram post that we do. After posting, we write something down there, right? Like quotation. Same like that, here also you need to write this kind of things. And post and activity is just one thing, but the most important thing here is the connection and networking, as this LinkedIn is meant for that. So you need to connect with different people like teachers, seniors, alumni, industry professionals, like HR. You can directly connect with the HR of particular companies, and you can build a proper network with them. And if you follow them automatically, if you like if they are going to post anything important like a vacancies, then you will get the information. And even in the LinkedIn, you will find the job section where you can go and find the jobs, current jobs available, and you can apply over there also. And etiquette here, send polite connection request to them and avoid spam messages and maintain professionalism here. As the best thing that you can do here is alumni and seniors, as you can connect with the seniors who already studied in your college, who is called also called this alumni. So you can directly connect with them, and you can ask them to refer to their company, so that you have this high chances of getting job very easily. Okay, it's all about building connections and networking, as you need to do continuously do these things every day. Yes, you can still do that. You can switch off ISO, anything it may be, any certificate it may be. If that is related to the domain, then you can still post it. Yes, it is necessary to be active in the LinkedIn so that you will be get recognized and you have the scope of good networking. But attendance link is not yet shared, Santosh. Like normally it will be shared at 6:50 every day. Okay, 10 minutes before the class ending. Okay, so this is all about the LinkedIn profile creation. Hope everything is clear to you. If you have any further doubts, you can please ask me, like regarding job application letter, LinkedIn, or 7 C's of communication, whatever we discussed today. Or even if you have anything new to ask, you can please ask. Yes. Hope no questions from your end. I know I'm going a bit slow, but the purpose here is to make you understand everything. So from tomorrow, verbal ability classes are going to be start, as today is the end of the soft skills. There is one thing that is SWOT analysis that is left, that we will do it by tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll be starting the verbal ability. And if you have any questions related to this, the topics got completed. Topics in soft skills got completed. Tomorrow I'll be starting verbal ability. And for the next 15 days, it's a complete verbal ability classes. Like for presentation, you can take the help of AI, but not everything should be AI. You can take the help, because few websites completely provide every slide, every information, but it is not at all good, as AI is killing our creativity. So you should be creative too, but you can take the reference or help of that AI. Thank you, Lahari. Okay, as the time is going to end, can we do any activity as we haven't done anything today?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Can I share attendance link now?
yes, you can. Okay, fine. I think we haven't done the group discussion yet, right? The day I have discussed this group discussion is a complete content only, but I haven't conducted any group discussion properly. So can we do this? I was thinking about conducting debate, but as of now, there is no much time. So we'll do debate tomorrow. We'll do the group discussion right now. Yes, you can post the pass certificates. Yes, you can. Okay, fine. But you need to on your cam and you need to on your mic as well. As this is a group discussion, everyone has to look each other, and even I should understand what you're doing. So do it. And it's simple. Those who want to participate, they can simply on your cam and on your mic. No need to on your mic right now, just on your cam. So that will proceed. Okay. Yes. Make it fast. See, speaking behind camera is what already you did. And I really appreciate that. You did that. But now upgrade. You need to upgrade something, right? Then you should on your cam. As like I know you are going to give your interviews virtually also. So during that time, if you say I can't on my camera, then they can't proceed with your interview. So it's like a practice to you only. So if you on, then it will be fine. Only I can see Rajeshwari on her cam. And remaining students. Okay, Rani. Uh, it's simple. If you're not ready, even I'm not ready to conduct. As I can't conduct this group discussion between Rajeshwari and Rani, right? So group discussion is all about members like, okay, tell me one thing. Just raise your hands. Those who want to participate, then raise your hands so that I'll understand how many are interested, based on which I'll decide. Those who want to participate, you can just raise your hands. One, two, three, five, six, seven. Okay. Members are there, right? So you please on your cam, or else I can't proceed with that. 。  . 。  . 。 . 。 . . . . . 。 . . . 。 . 。 . . 。 . . 。 . . . 。 。 . . . 。 。 .
'
Interested means means 4. Okay, anyhow, you can, will you do that at least? But today you can proceed with the group discussion without owning your cam, but for tomorrow debate you need to on. Okay. All right. The topic that I'm going to give you is confidence is more important than talent. Okay, we'll leave this topic. I'm going to give a simple topic to you. Social media, helpful or harmful? The topic to you, social media, helpful or harmful? Like different people have different opinions on this. So you can speak on this topic. Like I'm not going to call anyone. You need to take lead by yourself and you need to speak.
Happy evening, sir.
Yes.
Social media is sometimes it may be harmful, sometimes it may be very useful. When comes to the useful activities like growing through the YouTubers, Instagrams, they are spending too much money and earning too much money. When comes to the harmfulness, they are most of the youth are placing too much of spending too much of time on the social media on behalf of their studies, so it may cause to spoil their studies. This is my opinion, sir.
Yes, small disclaimer to you. I'm not a part of your group discussion. So you need to discuss among yourself. Okay. So here you don't need to refer me. Yes, you can continue.
Sir, it is depending upon the person how the social media is useful or harmful. Sometimes by using social media for good things, it will be helpful for society and people. If we use social media for scrolling reels or watching videos in Instagram or YouTube, it may be waste of time. We can do many things by using social media, and we can earn money also. Uh, I'm a social media influencer. I have a YouTube channel. I earn income from YouTube and I post reels in Instagram. I create content. By creating content, I earn money. That's also. Thank you.
Sir, what my friends are told, right, sir? But the purpose is to create a social media is to increase our technology in real world. But some people working different for different users. Some people using good things in social media. Some people using negative way in social media. But depend on personal interest, they use social media, sir.
I agree to you, Reddy Rani. Well, social media is both, it will be useful and it is also harmful. With this social media, we can learn new things and get information quickly, and it is mainly useful for the students and for the businessmen, and it is also useful for us to entertain us. But too much use of social media can also spoil our life, and it can waste our time, and it will reduce our concentration level, and it will also affect our mental health. So social media is good when we use it in a proper and balanced way.
I really support with your point, Nirpama, as social media will help us to connect with our friends or family, which we have a relation gap with them. So for an example, through Instagram, we can connect with our old friends. And when coming to the harmful points of the social media, it can waste a lot of time by passing the reels and everything. And too much use also cause stress and anxiety. And due to this social media, fake news can also spread very quickly. And as we provide some of the personal information in the social media, there will be a more threat of cyber security or cyber bullying. It may reduce the when we use more social media, the face to face communication will be reduced.
You are absolutely right, Nagashwini Priya. But most of this, let's we take an example. Suppose take an example of video gaming. Most the main intention to introduce video gaming is to relieve the mind. When we feel stressed, when you're playing game, it will relieve our mind. But the most newses we heard about the someone is betting in a app, someone playing games like Free Fire, etc. She got whole life she was dead, something like that.
I will agree with your point 100% because it will definitely depend on the person who is using. If he is using it in an limited way, it will be very better. And if he use it in a more repetitively, it will harm us.
Yes, social media has both benefits and also disadvantages. So it helps for us to communicate and learn new things and to share information with others. But overuse can waste our time and affect mental health. So social media should be used in a proper and balanced manner. Thank you.
Yes, Nirupama, I will support your point. Let me just say, quote, that social media is a good servant, but also it's a bad master, right? When we use the social media for the communication or any learning type purposes, it is very useful for us. And when we overuse it for our gaming, when we overuse it only, it can harm our time and privacy and mental well-being too.
All right.
Ashwini, what you said is absolutely right. I will agree with that. When it is also useful somewhere to increase our mental health. When because while I'm saying that when we got stressed too much due to the classes or something, so seeing some more reels or some videos or songs, we can get stress relief like that. This is my opinion.
Sir, I want to register last point. Somebody says by watching reels we can have good knowledge, but by watching reels or shorts, it even not increase 1% of knowledge from us because we just scrolling. We are not trying to learn something. It's coming just algorithm shows the videos for your brain, your eyes for a hit dopamine effect to entertain us. But by scrolling reels or shorts, you even not learn 1% from social media, sir.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I will partially agree with your point, Nitin. But by simply scrolling